What if saving your first $20,000 had less to do with math and more to do with rewiring your brain? That number, $20,000, isn't magical. It's a psychological tipping point. For many, it represents the first time your financial life shifts from a state of constant defense to a position of potential offense. It's the moment the abstract idea of being good with money becomes a concrete reality you can see in your bank account. This sum is more than just a buffer. It's a foundation. It's the threshold where the relentless, nagging background noise of financial anxiety begins to fade, replaced by a quiet confidence that you have options, you have control, and you have time. Before you reach this critical mass of savings, your financial decisions are often governed by survival math. You're constantly calculating, can I afford this? What happens if the car breaks down? How many days until the next paycheck? Your brain is trapped in a reactive loop, putting out one small fire after another. This isn't just stressful, it's cognitively expensive. It consumes your mental bandwidth, leaving little room for long-term planning, strategic thinking, or creativity. You're not steering your life, you're just trying to keep the boat from sinking. The goal of this video is to show you how that $20,000 cushion fundamentally breaks this cycle. This journey isn't just about accumulating cash. It's about earning agency. Agency is the feeling of being in control of your actions and their consequences. Without a financial buffer, you lack true agency. Your boss has agency over your time. Your landlord has agency over your housing. Your creditors have agency over your future income. Hitting that $20,000 milestone is the point where you start buying back that agency, piece by piece. It transforms you from a passive participant in your economic life to an active architect of it. You stop making decisions out of fear and start making them from a position of strength. Let's dive into the first major psychological mechanism this unlocks: escaping the scarcity mindset. When your resources are tight, your brain enters a state of tunneling. You can only focus on the immediate, pressing problem: making rent, buying groceries, paying that one bill. While this focus is a useful survival tool in the short term, over the long term, it severely impairs your judgment. You neglect long-term opportunities, you're more likely to take out predatory loans, and you can't think strategically about your career. A $20,000 cushion doesn't just pay your bills, it breaks the tunnel vision. It allows your brain to lift its head and see the bigger picture. The science backs this up. Studies have shown that the cognitive strain of scarcity can temporarily lower your effective IQ by up to 13 points. That's equivalent to the cognitive loss from an entire night of missed sleep. You are literally not as smart when you are worried about money. That $20,000 acts as a cognitive enhancer. It's not just money in the bank, it's clarity in your head. It's the difference between trying to solve a complex puzzle while a fire alarm is blaring versus solving it in a quiet library. The problem hasn't changed, but your ability to solve it has been fundamentally upgraded. This leads directly to the next concept: cognitive load. Financial stress is a heavy weight on your working memory. A 2022 Vanguard study found that employees with inadequate savings spent over 6 hours per week at work, distracted by their finances. Compare that to just 1.5 hours for those with a solid safety net. That's 4.5 hours of productive, focused time you get back every single week. Think about what you could do with that reclaimed mental energy. You could learn a new skill, plan a side hustle, be more present with your family, or simply perform better at your job, making a raise or promotion more likely. The money isn't just sitting there. It's actively buying back your most valuable asset: your attention. Reaching a significant goal like $20,000 profoundly boosts your financial self-efficacy. This is your belief in your own ability to manage money and achieve financial goals. Before this point, saving can feel like an impossible task, but hitting a major, concrete milestone provides undeniable proof that you can do it. This aligns with Locke and Latham's goal-setting theory, which states that achieving specific, challenging goals drives performance. You've just completed a financial marathon. Suddenly, the next goal, saving $50,000 or $100,000, doesn't seem so impossible. You've built the habits, you've proven the concept, and you've created a powerful feedback loop of success. Next, you begin to defeat a powerful cognitive bias, temporal discounting, also known as present bias. This is your brain's natural tendency to overvalue immediate rewards and undervalue future ones. It's why you choose the pleasure of a $200 dinner tonight over investing that same money for a $2,000 return in 10 years. When you're living paycheck to paycheck, your present bias is on overdrive because the present is all that matters. You can't afford to think about the future. But with $20,000 in the bank, the urgency of the now diminishes. You have a buffer. This allows the rational, long-term thinking part of your brain to take over, making it easier to delay gratification for much larger future rewards. Consider the real-world impact of this shift. Before, the idea of locking money away in a retirement account felt painful, like a loss. You needed that money now. After you have your cushion, that same action feels smart and empowering. The pain of losing access to that money is negated by the security of your existing savings. You can finally make the mathematically correct long-term choice because your emotional brain isn't screaming in protest. You shift from thinking, I can't afford to save for retirement, to, I can't afford not to. This is a monumental change in perspective that is almost impossible to achieve without first building that foundational layer of financial security. This brings us to mental accounting, a concept from Nobel laureate Richard Thaler. We don't treat all money the same. We put it into different mental buckets. You might have bill money, vacation money, or fun money. Without savings, all your money is in one big, chaotic bucket labeled survival. A $20,000 fund allows you to create your most important bucket yet, security, or opportunity. By mentally labeling this fund, you build a powerful psychological barrier around it. It's no longer just a pile of cash, it's your freedom fund, your peace of mind fund. This makes you incredibly reluctant to raid it for trivial expenses, protecting it for its true purpose. How you label this money fundamentally changes your behavior. If you see it as an emergency fund, you'll only touch it for true emergencies, like a job loss or medical bill. If you see it as an opportunity fund, you prime your brain to look for smart investments or career-building chances. Many people have a hybrid. The first $10,000 is the never-touch emergency buffer, and the next $10,000 is the look for opportunities capital. This act of categorizing your savings is a powerful form of self-discipline. You're not just saving money. You're giving that money a specific job, and your brain will work hard to ensure it sticks to its assignment. Finally, a $20,000 cushion acts as a powerful antidote to loss aversion. This is the principle that the psychological pain of losing is about twice as powerful as the pleasure of gaining. The fear of an unexpected $500 expense feels much worse than the joy of an unexpected $500 bonus. This fear can paralyze you, making you overly conservative and afraid to take calculated risks that could improve your life, like switching careers or starting a business. Your savings act as a buffer against this fear. You know that if a risk doesn't pay off, you won't be ruined. This doesn't make you reckless. It makes you rational. It allows you to evaluate opportunities based on their true merit, not through a lens of fear. Let's make this concrete with the check engine light test. For someone with no savings, a glowing check engine light triggers an immediate spike in cortisol. It's a crisis. Panic sets in. How much will this cost? Can I even afford it? How will I get to work? Will I have to borrow money? The mental energy wasted on this anxiety is enormous. For the person with $20,000 saved, the reaction is completely different. It's annoyance, not panic. It's an inconvenience, not a catastrophe. They calmly schedule an appointment with the mechanic, knowing they can cover the cost without derailing their entire financial life. Same problem, fundamentally different psychological experience. Consider the toxic job scenario. Millions of people feel trapped in jobs they hate because they are dependent on the next paycheck. The daily stress degrades their mental and physical health. Without savings, quitting is not an option. You feel powerless. With $20,000, the power dynamic shifts entirely. This money is your getaway fund. It gives you the confidence to start looking for a new job without desperation. It even gives you the power to walk away immediately if the environment becomes unbearable. This freedom is priceless. It allows you to prioritize your well-being, knowing you have a runway of several months to find a role that respects you. This newfound security also transforms how you approach career growth, especially at the negotiation table. When you're desperate for a job, you project that desperation. You're more likely to accept the first offer, even if it's below your market value, because the fear of having zero income is overwhelming. With a $20,000 cushion, you negotiate from a position of strength. You can afford to hold out for the salary you deserve. You can calmly and confidently state your case, willing to walk away if the offer isn't fair. This small shift in leverage can result in tens of thousands of dollars in extra income over the course of your career, making your savings one of the best investments you'll ever make. Beyond security, this fund opens up the possibility for offense. An opportunity arises. A friend is starting a promising business, a new technology emerges that requires a certification, or the stock market takes a dip, presenting a buying opportunity. Without liquid savings, you are merely a spectator. You have to watch these opportunities pass you by. With $20,000, you have capital that can be deployed. You have the flexibility to analyze the risk and decide if you want to participate. This is how wealth is built, not just by saving, but by using a secure financial base to take calculated risks and capitalize on opportunities that others cannot. The power of compound interest also becomes tangible for the first time. When you only have $1,000 saved, a 5% return is $50 a year. It's barely noticeable and can feel discouraging. But a 5% return on $20,000 is $1,000 a year. That's a meaningful amount of money. You are literally being paid to do nothing. For the first time, you can see and feel your money making money. This visual and tangible feedback is incredibly motivating. It transforms investing from an abstract, pointless exercise into a real, powerful engine for wealth creation, encouraging you to save and invest even more. This financial cushion can even save your relationships. Money is one of the top stressors for couples. An unexpected expense, like a leaking roof, can trigger a massive blame-filled fight when finances are tight. The stress of the problem is amplified by the stress of not having a solution. With a healthy emergency fund, the dynamic changes. The conversation shifts from, "How could you let this happen?" or "We're ruined," to, "Okay, this is a problem. Let's call a contractor and get a quote." It turns a relationship crisis into a logistical, solvable problem. Your savings act as a pressure valve, preserving the health and harmony of your most important relationships. Now, let's address a common misconception, that you need a high income to save this much. This is a fallacy. What matters far more than your income is your savings rate. The habits of discipline, delayed gratification, and intentional spending that you build while saving your first $20,000 are the true assets. Someone earning $50,000 a year who saves $10,000 has a 20% savings rate and is building wealth faster than someone earning $150,000 who saves only $15,000 with a 10% rate. The process of getting to that first milestone teaches you the skills that will make you wealthy regardless of your starting salary. Another myth is that the only point of saving is for retirement, a goal so distant it feels irrelevant. This is fundamentally wrong. A robust savings fund provides immediate, tangible benefits today. According to the National Endowment for Financial Education, those who lose their income are 4 times more likely to experience depression if they don't have an emergency fund. Your $20,000 is a powerful mental health tool. It's an anti-anxiety medication with no side effects. It buys you peace of mind, better sleep, and reduced daily stress long before you ever think about retirement. It's an investment in your present-day well-being. A third dangerous misconception is that as soon as you hit $20,000, you should immediately start making risky investments to get rich quick. People think this is the moment to go all in on speculative assets. In reality, the opposite is often true. This fund's primary purpose is security. It gives you the stability to make smarter, more calculated investments, not more reckless ones. It allows you to invest with a long-term perspective, riding out market volatility without panic selling, because your daily life doesn't depend on that money. It moves you from the mindset of a desperate gambler to that of a patient, strategic investor. The goal isn't to get rich quick, it's to get wealthy for sure. Finally, we must dismantle the lie that this money is just sitting there doing nothing. This could not be further from the truth. That $20,000 is working for you every single second of every single day. It's not generating interest in the traditional sense, but it is generating an invaluable return. Freedom from anxiety. It's buying you options. It's purchasing mental clarity. It's funding better decision-making. This psychological return on investment is arguably more valuable than any stock market gain. The freedom and peace of mind it provides allows you to operate at a higher level, which inevitably leads to better financial outcomes in the long run. Your money isn't lazy. It's providing the security that is the bedrock of all future growth. The ultimate transformation that occurs when you save $20,000 is internal. You prove to yourself that you are in control. You rewire your brain to see the world not as a series of threats to be defended against, but as a field of opportunities to be explored. The fear of a single, unexpected event wiping you out is gone. This frees you to think bigger, to act bolder, and to build a life based on your aspirations, not your anxieties. The number itself is just a milestone. The real prize is the person you become in the process of reaching it, someone who is disciplined, forward-thinking, and resilient. Mastering your money isn't about a number in an account. It's about reclaiming the power inside your mind.